Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you my everyday go-to makeup routine. This is basically the full face makeup that I use every day for work, so it's a Monday through Friday work look. On the weekends, if I need to go out during the day, I use the same makeup routine without the eyeshadow. So if you're interested in my everyday makeup routine, keep watching! The first thing I do is use my E.L.F moisturizer, concentrating on my face and my neck. Don't forget your neck, it's just as important as your face. Now I smooth on my E.L.F eye cream. I smooth it under my eye and on my brow bone. The area under your eye is very delicate, so be gentle. Now I spray Urban Decay Slick to keep my oil under control. Now my Smashbox primer water. After letting my primer water dry up a bit, I put on my Smashbox Photo Finish primer. Now I put on the Benefit Professional Pore Minimizer on the areas that I know I have the most trouble, which would be my cheek area, my nose area, my chin area, and my forehead, making sure that I pat and not rub in. For an eyeshadow primer, I use a MAC paint pot in the color Painterly, and I just use it with my Essence of Beauty Slim Concealer brush. I have two of this Essence of Beauty brushes that I use every day with my makeup routine. I only paid about $3 for it at CVS maybe about 10 years ago. I love these brushes. With my Essence of Beauty concealer brush, I spread on my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation in the color number 5. I like to put it under my eyes, above my eyebrows, around my nose, above my mouth, and around my lips. I like to do this first because this is where I notice that I have the most darkest areas. Now I take my Sephora Airbrush foundation brush and buff out those areas. By doing this, I get no cakiness around my nose area. Now I dot on the balance of the first pump of the foundation. Using my damp beauty blender, I use a bouncing motion to blend in the foundation. Don't forget your neck area. I use a total of 1.5 pumps of foundation for my whole face. Just a little side note on this Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. It does oxidize 1 shade darker. My suggestion is to try it on in the store and leave it on your face for a couple minutes so you can see what color it changes into, because it will go darker. This is a true full coverage foundation, so a little goes a long way. Now I use my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in medium. I put it under my eyes, above my mouth, on my dark spot, and then I also like to put it in the middle of my nose for a little highlight. Now I like to take my Sephora Airbrush Concealer brush just under my eyes to blend it out so that I can get way in those corners. Now I take my beauty blender and finish up buffing out all that concealer. Using my Sephora Airbrush Powder Brush, I pat on the RCMA No Color Powder. I feel that patting on the powder versus brushing it on does not disturb the foundation. Next up is the Ben Nye Banana Powder. With the point of my beauty blender, I like to take the banana powder and put it right up against my waterline. This ensures that my eyeliner will not run or budge. To highlight, I add more banana powder on my chin, the middle of my nose, my forehead, and above my cupid's bow. I let this sit and bake. For my brows, I use the Ardell Brow Defining Powder in Soft Black with a brow brush. For my eyeshadow, I use the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eyeshadow Palette. If you like matte, neutral colors, this palette is for you. It glides on like butter. I use the color Ludwin as my transitional shade, and I use my Sephora crease brush for this. With the same crease brush, I use the color Succubus right above my crease. With my generic blending brush, I blend. This brush I paid $1.83 for, and it's one of the best blending brushes I've ever owned. I'll go ahead and put the link down at the bottom. The next color that I use is Latinas, and I use my Sephora shadow brush to pat it all along my eyelid. Now with my MAC 227 brush, I use the color Side Tree, concentrating on the outer corner and on the crease. Now I blend with my MAC 217 brush. I use my favorite blending brush to finish out the blending. Using the MAC 217 brush, I use the color Lactis as my highlight. To make the top look a little bit more seamless, I take more of the transitional shade Ludwin. I curl my lashes with the Laura Mercier eyelash curler. This is the best eyelash curler. The only downside is that it breaks very easily. To line my eye, I use the E.L.F cream eyeliner with an E.L.F eyeliner brush. I don't do any kind of wing. I just go as close as possible to my lash line. Now with my fan brush, I dust off all the banana powder that I had baking on my face. With my MAC NC25 concealer and MAC concealer brush, I go ahead and clean up the edges of my eyeshadow. Cleaning the edges upward makes your eyes look lifted. With my fan brush, I use the leftover banana powder to set the concealer that I just used. Now with my blending brush, I like to soften up those edges. I don't like harsh lines. With my Urban Decay 24/7 liner in Zero, I go ahead and line the bottom lash line. I only like to line 1/3 of the way. For my top lashes, I use their Real by Benefit mascara. For my bottom lashes, I like to use the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. The tiny one makes it very easy to get to all those little lashes. Next, I use the Powder Contour Kit by Anastasia in light to medium. For the top of my forehead and temples, I like to mix the colors Fawn and Java. Make sure to shake off any excess fallout before applying. Using the same mixture of color, I contour under my chin area. Next, I use a buffer brush to buff out any harsh lines. To contour my nose, I use a blending brush and the color Fawn and draw a line on each side of my nose. I use whatever's left over on the brush to put under my bottom lip. With my buffing brush, I go ahead and buff out all the sharp edges. With a dome-shaped brush, I use the highlighter Vanilla to highlight the center of my nose and above my Cupid's bow. Again, I take the buffing brush to buff out any harsh edges. To contour my cheeks, I like to combine the colors Fawn and Vanilla. It makes the color just a little bit more subtle. With my MAC 116 blush brush, I use the color Pink Swoon in the MAC blush. I like to apply it in circular motions versus just an up and down straight kind of a stroke. With my powder brush, I like to take the RCMA powder just to go over my blush and contour to kind of blend it all together. I line my lips with the NYX lip liner in Peekaboo Neutral. This color is very versatile. It goes with a lot of different colors. I put a light layer of Carmex lip balm just because I like to use liquid lipsticks, and this helps my lips from drying out. The liquid lipstick that I'm using today is the Kat Von D in the color Lovesick. My final step is to use the Mally Face Defender. Make sure to just pat, not rub, and I only use it in the areas that I know that I'm going to have a problem with oil. This is good stuff. The absolute final step is fix your hair and you're good to go. I hope you enjoyed watching my everyday makeup routine. Please don't forget to subscribe, and always remember, age is just a number. Till next time, bye!